Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. So today is Tuesday, which is my normal video. So I'm going to post a video today, which is a tag for Nonfiction November. So I'm going to do that. But then I'm going to take off Wednesday and Thursday. And then I'll be back on Friday to start Vlogmas. So I'm just going to take off Wednesday and Thursday because I'm about to get into 30 days of videos plus a book a day for 30 days. So it's going to be a lot for me. So just please understand that I'm not ignoring you guys. Like, I'm not blowing you off by not doing 2 videos. I'm just trying to keep myself sane. That is my goal. So I will have videos up for Vlogmas, which is going to be 24 videos, and then Christmas Day I won't have a video, and I think I will take off the week of Christmas, so like the 25th till the week following, just because, again, I'm going to need to take a breather, and also I will be with family in a different state, and so I won't have my filming environment, and I'll still be in the process of finishing another 5 books at that point. So it's gonna be a lot to have to read 5 books in 5 days and film in a foreign environment, so I'm not gonna do that. So this is my last video of November, and then we're going into Vlogmas, and then I will be off the week of Christmas. So, yay! Let's do this. So today is going to be the Nonfiction November book tag, and it was created by Maria, which she is at the channel of Read, Create, Repeat, Homeschool. I will link that channel down below in the description box. So I've taken up enough of your time already with the 2 minutes of rambling and explaining what I'm going to be doing for this month. So let's dive into the questions. Question 1 is Nonfiction November is a great time to meet other nonfiction lovers. Give some shout out love to one of your favorite nonfiction booktubers. For me, that is a Book Olive. I know that's kind of a cop-out since she is hosting Nonfiction November, and I really wish I had another channel to shout out. I don't watch a lot of nonfiction channels. If you have any recommendations, please leave them down below in the comments, and I would love to dive in and see that. So I'm going to link a Book Olive's channel down below in the description, as well as Gemma, who is the other host for Nonfiction November. Why do you read nonfiction is question 2, and I read to learn. I have several subjects that I'm really passionate about and really intrigued about, and I really have a lot of interest in, and I really want to learn as much about them as I possibly can, so I just keep picking up books that have to do with those topics. So I read to learn. So, the rest of these questions are based on the 4 categories that were given as challenges for the Nonfiction November Readathon of 2017. So, number 3 question is home. When you're at home, where do you read most? Okay, so I live with my parents, and I spend most of my time either in the living room in a comfy chair or upstairs in my room in bed. And I try really hard not to read in bed as much as possible, just because I have to like function and like get out of the house a little bit. So I end up reading a lot downstairs on the comfy chair in the living room. And that's my like go-to place. Also, it's warmer there because it is so cold in this house. Question number 4, home. Give a nonfiction recommendation that is set in your home country. And I decided for that book to recommend The People Are Going to Rise Like the Waters Upon the Shore, A Story of Rage in America by Jared Yates Sexton. I really think this is the most comprehensive, honest, and factual depiction of the 2016 elections. I think this is the best book out there overall to kind of discuss the 2016 elections and how Donald Trump ended up in the office. I think a lot of it had to do with rage in the communities and rage within the American people, and I think that that drove the campaign a lot, and this kind of backs that up and talks about it in a factual way, rather than just me being like, I feel Which book from your 2017 Nonfiction November TBR related to the word home are you most excited about? I've read most of the books that I have assigned myself for the 2017 readathon for Nonfiction November, but I'm in the middle of reading this, The Inconvenient Indian, A Curious Account of Native People in North America by Thomas King. I'm finding this really interesting and dark, and I think for me the big thing that I'm kind of taking away from this is how much my country is founded on a genocide. And I think as much as I knew that, it's really heart-wrenching to kind of see it and to see how the Native people are still treated as second-class citizens, and that their own communities and ideas and traditions are kind of frowned upon and used as ways to explain them as being almost savage. It's really it's really disturbing, and it's definitely made me think. So far I'm enjoying it as much as one can enjoy something that is so dark. Question number 6. What do you love to read most in nonfiction? I like reading about mental health the most. If I can mix that with feminism, I'm completely down and very excited about it. I really enjoy reading about mental health. Mental health biographies is kind of my go-to. Biographies of those with mental illness. I think that's really my favorite subgenre of nonfiction that I enjoy, and I'm always looking for recommendations, so if you have any, leave them in the comments below. Number 7 is give a nonfiction recommendation related to the challenge word love. And what I decided to do was to show a nonfiction book that I love and a nonfiction book that I really find passionate. This is Sex, Lies, and Handwriting. A top expert reveals the secrets of a hidden in your handwriting by Michelle Dresbold. I super loved this book. It was enthralling, it was intelligent, it was different, it was really interesting, and I highly recommend it, and I loved it. I really, really loved it. What love-related nonfiction recommendation are you most excited about? So, back to my mental illness nonfiction that I really enjoy. I don't have a book left from my TBR pile because I've read all of them, but this one is one that I am super intrigued about. This is The Flock, an autobiography of multiple personalities by Joan Frances Casey. It's a testimony of living with DID and what that looks like and how people experience it. This one calls it MPD, which is multiple personality disorder, so it is a little out of date, but I'm hoping that it'll hold true to some of the same experiences that I have, and I look forward to comparing and contrasting. I know it's a really dark subject, and it really is kind of scary to go into, but because of my own disorder, I am really fascinated to see how others live with it and how they experience it. Substance. Nonfiction is a great way to introduce people to that inspire us. Name a person of substance that you loved reading about. You guys are not going to be surprised. It's going to be Shirley Jackson. This is Shirley Jackson, A Rather Haunted Life by Ruth Franklin. I am obsessed with this book. I absolutely adore it. I'm on my second read of it, which is the second time I'm reading it in a month. So I'm going to take it slower this time. I'm listening to it on Audible. I'm listening to it on audiobook. I use Libro FM, which I will link down below in the description box. They're very similar to Audible. They're very similar to Audible, about the same price, but I can use a link that allows me to spend my money and give a profit of it to print my local bookstore, and it's not Amazon. So I am happy about it not being Amazon, and I'm happier to pay the price for it to not be Amazon. I still get a credit a month, and I still I still pay $14.99, I believe, a month, which for me, I usually end up just using the credit, but for some of them in this situation, credits don't count, so I end up picking those up separately, but I definitely think it is worth it, and this book on audio is super good. Super good. Tea break. Do you like my Bronte sister mug? You can't see it. It's the Bronte sisters. My nail polish kind of matches my mug. That's lovely. Number 10, what book would you recommend people that has lots of substance to it? I haven't talked about this one either for a while or ever. I'm not sure which. This is Lucky, and it's a memoir by Alice Sebold. It is the story of a rape and the experience of a woman who was sexually assaulted on her college campus. It really, really holds a lot of substance to it, and it really gives a lot of context to the aftermath of a rape and what goes through a person's mind. As you guys can see, this one is super well loved. I have put this through the ringer. I've read it multiple times. It's all marked up and written in, and yeah, I really love this book, and I was reading a lot of Alice Sebold when I was younger because I loved this book so much, and I found that as a young adult I really enjoyed her fiction as an adult fiction. So I really liked The Lovely Bones when I was younger, and I really liked Almost Moon. But as I've aged, those haven't stuck with me, but this has. So substance there. What book related to the word substance are you most excited about in your nonfiction TBR? Again, I've read all my substance books from my TBR pile, so this one is not from that pile, but it's from my TBRs on my shelf. And this is Blitzed by Norman Orell, and it's drugs in Nazi Germany. So I am really curious about this one, and I think it's going to be interesting to talk about the Nazis and what they did and the drugs and the heroin and the morphine and how that related to Nazi Germany. I think it's going to be interesting. I really have always found Nazi Germany to be an interesting subject. I don't know why, but it's just something that's always fascinated me. So to think more along the lines of what was driving that is going to be really interesting to dive into. Question 12 has to do with scholarship. Nonfiction can teach us a lot. What subjects and topics have you really learned about because of reading? That would be feminism and gender. I began my channel believing I was a feminist and knowing I was a feminist, but I didn't understand all of feminism and all of the concepts of feminism and what types of feminists you can be, different types of feminists there are in the world. I really believed that there was just one true feminist, and that's not the case. I identify as a left-wing feminist, and I'm really, really happy to be that. I just find that my opinions with feminism tend to line up for the most part in all ways. I don't agree that trans women are not women. I think that trans women are women. I also believe that feminism should be a all-inclusive movement for all races. I don't think that caring about one race more than another is feminist. And I also believe that man-hating is not the answer to feminism. So I've learned a lot from reading and experiencing books that talk about gender and equality and the experience of a female and a feminist female. I really think that I've learned the most from this book, Girls Will Be Girls by Emma O'Toole, dressing up, playing parts, and daring to act differently. I just have a lot of recommendations about the feminist movement and the books. If you guys want to see any books that I have on feminism, let me know and I will do a video about that. Question 13 is, which book would you recommend that would teach somebody something well? And for me, that is Unmentionable by Teresa O'Neill. I love this book. I think it is fabulous. I think it is super intelligent. I think it is really witty and daring and bold and really important. I think it checks my privilege, and I think it checks the experience of women and where we are now as opposed to how far we've come. This talks about the Victorian age and women in their middle class society for the most part, and their experience in the world. I definitely kind of came to the conclusion that more likely than not, I would have been placed in an asylum, which is really a problem, and I think it would have been awful. And I'm very lucky to have been born in the time that I have been, because my treatment would not have been the same had I been born in a different time period. I would have been in a lot of trouble. So I definitely think that this teaches some feminist ideas and some history and some really important information about the Victorian world for ladies. So, recommend it. Number 14 is, what book related to scholarship are you most excited for reading in your Nonfiction November? This is actually still from my Nonfiction November TBR. This is Cordelia Fine's Delusion of Gender. This one, I've been told, is the best book to read if you're talking about gender. I definitely plan to pick this up, hopefully within the next few days before November ends. I am really excited about it, and I'm really curious to learn more about gender. Who do I tag? I tag April from Getting Hygge With It. I tag Amanda Center. I tag Amy Poole, and I tag Marissa from Blatantly Bookish. I will link all of their channels down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, click that like button down below. If you loved it, click that subscribe button and join the chaotic little book corner family. And if you have any questions, quandaries, compliments, or conundrums, go ahead and comment down below in the comment section, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!